Hi, this is James Headley. Thank you for tuning in to the Living in Naples channel today. I want to talk about one of the key drivers of the home inventory shortage in Southwest Florida and likely elsewhere as well. And that is the seller's concerns about where they would go if they were to sell their homes. Sure, I talked to a lot of folks who would be interested in cashing out today, reaping double or triple or even more what they paid for their homes. But they ask that inevitable question of, well, where would I go if I were to sell my home? Being able to find something that is suitable, comparable, as the case may be, is definitely a challenge. So I'm going to discuss that situation today and hopefully provide some valuable food for thought for those who might be in that situation. Please be sure to stick around until the end of the video when I'm going to share a little bit about my own personal experiences, very recent, in dealing with some of these circumstances, and share some firsthand observations and experiences that may be useful to some of you out there. As always, I appreciate it if you find this content to be valuable. Please do like, subscribe, and share. And with that, let's dive right in. If you were living in Naples far back as even just 2 years ago and looking to sell your home and buy another home in Naples, you might have expected to sell a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-family home for around $600,000 in a number of great communities and areas in Naples. If you were trading up to something bigger and or in a more upscale area, $1 million at that time would have bought you any number of outstanding properties. Now, with the boom in the real estate market locally, that original home is probably selling for upwards of $1 million today. And the trade-up home is likely more in that 1.4 to possibly even 1.5 range. So basically the spread hasn't changed significantly in absolute dollar terms or percentage-wise, but the pricing level has been reset higher. Sort of a rising tide lifts all boats, although maybe not necessarily such a positive if depending upon where you're looking at this from. So far, so good, at least as far as the status quo for the local seller and buyer, right? On the surface, yes, absolutely. But now that homeowner is also competing with a higher volume of buyers as factors such as remote working, escaping from more restrictive blue states, and factors such as that have increased the buyer pool at the same time that the inventory of available homes has declined. Now, of course, the situation is even worse for the usual cohort of second home buyers and those looking to relocate to places like Naples and Marco Island from areas where housing prices may not have increased as dramatically as they have locally. These buyers are now chasing homes at these newly reset higher levels, but without the advantage of the trampoline effect of selling a home locally at those levels. So aside from throwing your hands in the air and hoping for more favorable market conditions in the future, what's any potential buyer to do? So for existing Naples and Marco homeowners, take heart in the fact that you are in that prime category, since your existing home has a lot more value stored in it than it did as recently as 2020. My first suggestion for this lucky group is to think long and hard about why you would consider parting with your home. Are you looking to upsize or downsize? Is there a pull from another community or a push from your current one? Once we know what you want, we can identify and price options and compare them with the valuation estimate for your own home to give you a sense of what to realistically expect should you decide to make that switch and make that trade, as it were. For those of you who are looking to buy in Southwest Florida for the first time, there's a lot of information out there on my channel to help you with your search. Of course, I'd love to hear from you directly and discuss your specific circumstances at any time so that I can begin to work to identify the right home and the right community for you. And for all of you who have watched to this point, thank you for sticking with me. I promise to share my personal experiences. In just the last 2 years, I have sold 2 homes and purchased another one in Naples. The first sale was a case of downsizing under some extraordinary circumstances involving a divorce, keeping a promise to a client against my own financial self-interest, then a host of other details I won't go into here, but I'm happy to share with you one-on-one. In selling that home in late spring of 2021, I was doing so right in the midst of the first wave of price increases locally. I asked myself some of those very questions I advise current area homeowners to ask themselves. And I determined at that time that what was important to me was downsizing into a different community with a golf club better suited to what I was seeking. After taking on some major renovations to that home, I saw real estate prices continuing to rise in the area, albeit not as much in my new community until I sold my home, but that's a story for a different day. And asked myself all of those same questions about what was important to me. At the end of the day, when I answered that overarching, but where would I go if I sold question, the answer was actually out of Naples. I may have left some money on the table, but I'm not greedy. And few people ever got rich trying to call market peaks. So I was ready to take a bit of a profit and seek a home outside of Naples that would give me the quality of life I was looking for without sacrificing so many of the things I love about Southwest Florida. That was a difficult step that I didn't take lightly and wouldn't advise anyone else to do so either. Naples Marco Island is a slice of paradise that's not easily replicated anywhere else. I'll talk about where I went and why in more depth in subsequent episodes, but I'm so happy I made the choice I did and leveraged the strength of the Naples area real estate market when I did as a seller. If you or someone you know might benefit from hearing about my experience, comparing notes, or just having me act as a sounding board as they can consider or you consider selling your home in Southwest Florida, please be in touch anytime. Who knows, I might just have a buyer ready to purchase your home or we might be new neighbors. So thanks so much for that. And thanks again for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks so much.